Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to test this new super cool API you've developed from your Azure Machine Learning Studio experiment in Postman. So I'm going to assume that you've been following along with my other videos and that you have some sort of bike buyer's predictive model here. So in prior chapters we went through creating something to predict who will purchase a bike. That includes all the classic data. Let's not worry as long as you're predicting whether or not they'll purchase a bike, and as long as you have a model built and a predictive experiment built, you're good to go. If you don't have the exact same columns as me, no big deal. Double check though, make sure your predictive experiment does have the same connections mine has. So in a prior video when I showed how to do this in Excel, I changed my web service input to connect after the select columns to make sure that it removes any of the columns we didn't need in the data requirements. I also added the select columns here between the score model and the output to make sure that it only gives us back the scored label and not all of the other inputs that we already gave it. And then we deployed a web service, and if you haven't done this already, go ahead and deploy. I'm not going to overwrite mine because it's already good to go. So that means we have over here in our web service list a web service called by the same title, and we should be now on this page. So here's what I want to do. Let's test this API in Postman. Postman is a super useful tool to make sure to test every type of RESTful API you can imagine. If you don't already have it, go to getpostman.com, pause this video, download the app, get it going. I'm just going to go ahead and open mine right now. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let me try it one more time. Postman, there we go. Alright, we chill for a second while this opens. So what we want to do is create a basic request, a GET. So click on this. Request name, we're just going to call this test out Azure ML Bike Buyers API. We're good. Let's create a collection to put this in. Bike Buyers. Oh, no spaces. Well, no, that's right. Oh, just hit check. Sorry. Okay, save to bike buyers. Perfect. All right. So first of all, the get URL, that's going to be from right back. Let me close out some of these prior things we worked on in other videos. Yeah, whatever. Where's my... Oh, there we go. Now it's freaking out. Sorry. Let me close this from the last video we were just making. Don't save. Speed up my RAM here a little bit. Here we go. All right. Where do we find our URL from? So come down here. You've explored this before in other videos. Go down here to our request response documentation page. And we have, first of all, our post URI. Grab that. Head back to Postman. Paste it in here in our get. Change our get to post. Beautiful. Next, we need to add some parameters. So click on this. We are going to use API version 2.0, yes. Details, true, yes. What we really want is to look at the body and the headers. So our headers, we're going to include 2 of them. Now, if you're wondering where I'm getting all this from, you can actually go right back here to the documentation and scroll down, and here it tells you everything you need for this. So headers, we need authorization, content length, content type, this optional except the reformat of application JSON. Anyway, it says pass the API key here under authorization with the keyword bearer space your API key. So our API key is back on the previous page right here. Let's grab this one and let's start with this authorization header. So back here in Postman now. Let's add the header, authorization, there you go, it brings it up automatically. Value here, bearer, space. Now I'm trying to remember, I think we don't need any quotes. I think we just paste the key like that. We'll find out here in a second. Alright, next one we need, let's go back and take a look. Content length, cool. Length of the body. Actually, I think That'll be generated automatically. Let's skip that one for now, and let's go to content type. We need application JSON. Perfect. Let's head back. Content type, there it is. Application JSON. Perfect. I'll check that content length in a second. I've never had to use that one before. It's the first time I've seen it as a requirement. But what we do need is to put something in the body of our request. So let's change this from text filled to, no, that's right. I want, oh, not form data. I want, I think raw. There we go, that'll work. Okay, so let me give you an example of what we're going to put in here. Head back to your documentation and scroll down. And right here, sample request. Let's just copy all of this down to here. And head back to Postman and paste it in. Alright, so we don't actually need two sets of values. I'm going to get rid of one of these. I think we can do without it. So I'm from the comma down through the second, to the closed bracket. There we go. So we need the column names. What we need to do now is put down valid values down here. So for marital status, let's put in married. This is just to test it out here. Gender, we'll put in female. Income, 100,000. Children, and so I'm just looking at my headers up here to know what order I should be putting these in. Children 2, cars 2, age 38. Purchase by numeric, that's our dependent variable. Remember, it's actually going to ignore that. It doesn't matter what we put in, so I'll leave it as 0. Education, this is going to be a value. We'll put in graduate. Occupation, management, homeowner, yes. Commute distance, we'll put 0 to 1 miles. Region, we'll put Europe. Okay. So let's give this a try and see if it works. Send away. How's that? There we go, down here. Perfect. So the response, we got right here a response code, scroll down, of 200. That always means it's okay, valid response. And here's the body of the response down here. Results, output, names, types, values. So this person is 45.9% likely to purchase a bike. Cool, our API seems to work in Postman. Now I would say we've got enough confidence to go ahead and try this out in an app of some type. But what type of app do we want to test it in? Well, once we decide that, Postman actually gives us another cool feature. Scroll back up here, if I can figure out how to scroll. There we go. And right here, this little button code. So it says, choose your language, HTTP request, as well as C, C#, all these different languages we can use. Super useful. However, last I checked, last I tried, Azure ML Studio actually has a problem with JavaScript requests. And I don't remember the details why. You can look that up if you want, but I don't believe we can use JavaScript. However, in the next video, I'm going to use C# using the REST API. So it exports the code we need to go ahead and create the variables and call the clients. Super useful. So let's stop this one right here, and we'll move on in the next video on how to actually put this into a web page.